Hi, I'm Sam Darley, and welcome to Sports Talk. Yesterday I talked about what the Atlanta Falcons needed in the 2015 NFL Draft. And now today I'm going to talk about another team in the NFC South, and well, breaking down that division anyways. The New Orleans Saints. What did they need? Well, after trading Jimmy Graham, which I still think was... I can't explain that move. I still can't explain it. What I can explain is that they can't replace him. Cooks is a good player, but Colson's a good player. You know, those are two good players, but you can't replace your leading receiver. So that being said, I don't know if they're going to be able to replace him in the draft. When I look at the Saints, I think they need a running game. I don't know if Ingram can provide it. Bringing him back was big. If he gets the opportunity, I'm sure he's a good player. He could be an every down back, but just with the Saints offensively now, it's like, what did they do without the leading receiver? And is Drew Brees happy? I mean, you just literally gave the Seattle Seahawks pretty much another chance at the Super Bowl. And I know they're in the weak division. I don't see the Saints as a contender or even a playoff team next year. No offense to Saints fans. I think Graham really puts their offense into another gear. I know he struggled last year, but that was mainly with injuries. And you saw in their record, their offense struggled. Why? Because when Jimmy Graham is healthy and making big plays for them, or when he was making big plays for them, their offense was able to score pretty much at will. And now all that production is gone. And so now they gotta try and figure out how to replace it. Like I said, I don't know if his replacement is in the draft. They need defensive help, primarily at the cornerback position and the free safety position. Excuse me. Linebacker, they could use some help with the linebacker position. Offensive line, definitely. Offense needs a lot of work. I mean, no offense to Cooks, and I got to see him a lot last year. I really think he's kind of like what Cecil Shorts would be for the Texans, a good slot receiver. I don't think he's going to stretch the defense, and he's got great speed. But I just don't see, until they get a running game and a defense, and now they have to find a way to replace Jimmy Graham, their leading receiver, it's going to be a long year for the Saints. It really is. I don't know where they go in the draft, to be honest with you. I know they need offense. They need offensive line. They need to find a definitive answer at running back. They need to start finding that bell cow, that Eddie Lacy, that Le'Veon Bell type player. And if that's Mark Ingram, great. If it's not, well, they gotta find somebody. Because Brees is 36 years old and he's not getting any younger. They do need defense. I thought their defense consistently got shredded last year, and they brought the defensive coordinator who coordinated that defense back. It's not looking good for the Saints. I mean, it's really not. This could be a really bad team next year. I look at them, I don't see the draft helping them much. Unless they do, but then again, you never know. You never know. They need to think about quarterback. Like quarterback of the future. They need to start thinking long-term, post-Brees. They're not going to trade Drew Brees. Unless he says, I want out. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did want out. And they just traded his favorite target for basically nothing, except for an offensive lineman. And no disrespect to Max Unger. Drew's a good player. You don't trade one of your best players for almost nothing for draft picks and an offensive lineman. So, what was it? They got a 4th round pick? Jimmy Graham is not worth a 4th round pick. But anyways, the Saints need a lot of help on their team. They were in bad cap shape, and I'm sure that's a big reason why they traded Graham. That might be a reason why they trade Drew Brees. But overall, I look at their team and I say defense first. And everybody wants to say that, well, their offense is fine. No, their offense is probably not. It's probably going to take a huge step back in 2015 now without Graham. They need a running back, a wide receiver, offensive line, and a backup quarterback to groom and develop for the future. They didn't do much in free agency. They were big spenders last year. That really hurt them. That's really going to hurt them. But I do think, I think they're, I think, like I said, I think this is going to be a rough year for the Saints. And it could be a rough couple of years. Just, you got to fix that defense. And it's a weak division. But like I said yesterday, I feel like the Falcons really are, if they fix their defense and their running game, they're the class of that division. Nobody's beating them. Not the Panthers, not the Saints, not the Buccaneers. Well, Buccaneers, if they get Jameis Winston, they have a shot. But it's a weak division. I don't see the Saints competing in it next year. Sorry, Saints fans. Draft needs, definitely secondary. Secondary help. Linebacker help. Offensive line help. Running back. And a quarterback to groom for the future. We'll see what happens with them. This has been Sam Darley with Sports Talk. Thanks for watching.